Hello, today we are going to discuss on male reproductive systems especially. Before going to discuss on the male reproductive system, we should know the introductions of the reproduction. Reproduction is nothing but the biological process in which the living beings produce their young ones by by means of a sexual reproduction, by means of sexual reproduction. It is making their exact copies of itself, and literally it is also called it as a to create or recreate something, usually a new things, new living things, such as baby. That means this process, this biological process is known as a reproduction. Then it is nothing but it is meant for the perpetuation. That means perpetuation of the race or species, because individuals are bound to die after a lifespan. Reproduction provides a group immortality. There are four processes are the basic reproduction. First one is DNA replication. DNA can replicate itself and making exact copies of itself. That is called the DNA replication. Then cell division. Cell can divide mitotically as well as meiotically. Then formation of reproductive units, and the fourth one is development of new individuals. This this reproduction, the term which used first by Anton von Leeuwenhoek in 1632 and 1723. He is a first microbiologist, and he developed a microscope. At that time he also firstly observed and studied the spermatozoa. In today's lecture, we will learn about the male reproductive system especially. There are two forms of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, which includes fission, multiple fission, budding, fragmentation, parthenogenesis. And sexual reproduction is achieved through the combination of reproductive cells from two individuals. That means that two individuals are necessary. That means the male individuals and female individuals are necessary. Their gametes, that is the male gametes and female gametes, unite to form a zygote. The male gamete, that is the testes, and female gametes, male gonad, that is the testes which produces the sperms, and female gonads which ovary which produces the ova. These are the reproductive cells. When they are combined from the two individuals, then which produces the zygote, the new progeny, new offspring, their child, their baby, which produce that that is known as a sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, which is a two types, male sexual reproduction and female sexual reproduction. Today's topic is male reproductive system. The term reproduction was first introduced by Buffon in 1749. The male reproductive systems, which is located outside the man's abdominal cavity or the pelvis region. It is nothing but the formation of new similar young living organism. Previously, we said that it is meant for the perpetuation of the races or species because individuals are bound to die after a lifespan. Then reproduction provides a group immortality. There are four processes: DNA replication, cell division, formation of reproductive units, development of new individuals. This is the slides which show the diagram of male reproductive system as well as urogenital system, which contain the pair of testes, then epididymis, scrotum. That means in shortly we will see here in primary sex organ, secondary sex organ and accessory glands. We will discuss in the next slides. Here in the diagram we see the scrotum, testes, epididymis, prostate gland, seminal vesicles, urethra, penis, vas deferens, epididymis. The male reproductive system is characterized into mainly three parts, that is the primary sex organ, secondary sex organ and accessory glands. Primary sex organ, that is a pair of testes or testicles, then scrotum. Secondary sex organ, which includes rete testis, pair of epididymis, vas efferentia, pair of vas deferentia, pair of ejaculatory duct and urethra. Accessory glands. There are three accessory male reproductive glands: seminal vesicle, prostate glands, corpus glands, and this is also called a bulbourethral glands. Let's see about the primary sex organ, that is testis. This is the primary sex organ, testis. It is also known as a testicles. These are essential reproductive organs which situate outside the abdominal cavity in the loose bag-like structure that is called a scrotum. One testis is present in each compartment of the scrotum. A pair of oval, pinkish primary sex organs which is lodges into the white fibrous capsules which contains a lobus, and they are freely suspended into the scrotum sac and secured at either end by a structure called spermatic cord. They are held in position in the scrotum by the tissue. That tissue is known as a short fibromuscular bands. These tissues are called it as a gubernaculum. And each testis which consists of 900 to 1000 seminiferous tubules. Each tubule is 70 to 90 centimeter long. It is roughly circular and contains a germinal epithelium. These testes, which is lodges into the scrotum, which is descended into the scrotum sac from the abdominal cavity through the inguinal canal during the 7th month of development. When it is not found into the scrotum, when it appears into the abdomen, That means the failure of testes to descend from the abdomen into the scrotum sac, which leads into sterility. That condition is known as a cryptorchidism. Each seminiferous tubes, these are metabindings of the seminiferous tubes, which containing the germ cells and sustentacular cells, that is the Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells, they're named after the scientist, that is the Italian histologist Iricio Sertoli in 1840 and 1910. These cells which protect the germ cells and promote their development. And the interstitial cells, or it is also known as the Leydig cells. The name Leydig, after the discoverer, that is the Leydig, German anatomist. These cells which scattered between the seminiferous tubules. The Leydig cells which secrete this testosterone and androgen within the testes or coiled masses tubes. These tubes are called seminiferous tubules. These tubules are responsible for producing the sperm cells through the process of spermatogenesis. The spermatids attach themselves to sustentacular cells present in the testes. These are, we will call it as a Sertoli cell, that cause the spermatid to change into the spermatozoa. The Sertoli cells provides nutrient material, hormones, and possibly also the enzymes that are necessary for the maturation of spermatids into the spermatozoa. So the function of testes is mainly to secrete the testosterone, and it produces the sperms. Then the role of the testosterone in development and maintenance of the secondary sexual characters. It stimulates the protein synthesis and promotes the growth of skeletal muscles. There are a pair of testes. This is called a primary male sex organ. It is about 5 cm length, 3 cm thickness, 2.5 cm in width, and it is nearly about 12 gram in weight. It is oval, pinkish in color, which is lying in the scrotum, suspended in its position by means of the spermatic cords. It has 3 covering: tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea, and tunica vasculosa. Tunica vaginalis on each side of the testis is covered by a hallowed tunica albuginea. It is a bilayer of peritoneum with a coelomic cavity having a coelomic fluids, which is useful for the slidings. And second covering, that is the tunica albuginea. It is the actual covering of the testes. It is dense, bluish, white fibrous connective tissues. See, tunica albuginea also project inside the testes to form a thick, incomplete vertical columns that is called mediastinum, and a number of transverse septa. The third covering, that is the tunica vasculosa. The septa, which provides 200 to 300 conical testicular lobules, each with the covering of vascular sheath, and lose the connective tissues, that is called tunica vasculosa. Then this is the test. This is slides which show the testes. This testes. It is show the seminiferous tubules. Then epididymis, then three parts of the epididymis: head of the epididymis, body of the epididymis, tail of the epididymis. Rated testes is seen here, then vas deferens, vas efferent, then spermatic cords, blood vessels as nerves, seminiferous tubules, septums, lobes, tunica albuginea, tunica vaginalis, and tunica vasculosa, body of tunica vaginalis. This is the structure of testis. Then there is a I am trying to different between the seminiferous tubules and Leydig cells. The seminiferous tubules and Leydig cells are the most important cells which is found into the testes. The seminiferous tubules, these are tiny, highly convoluted tubules, which are 900 to 1000 tubules, which are yellowish in color, which occurs in each testis, and each lobule is about 70 to 80 centimeter long. Then they have on the basement membrane highly specialized for the formation of sperms, that is known as spermatogonia. The seminiferous tubules, which has a striated epithelium of the seminiferous tubules, which is composed of different stages of developing sperm cells, and they do not secrete any type of hormones. They only secrete the sperms, produce the sperms. Leydig cells, it is a specialized cells which is present in between the seminiferous tubules. They do not have any such classification of the cells, not any type of specialized, no any cells, that means no secreting sperm cells. Interstitial tissues of the testes consist of loose areolar connective tissues. This is where the Leydig cells are located. These Leydig cells which secrete the male hormones, that is testosterone, or it is also known as androgen. And that's why overall we will discuss here about the function of the testis. It produces the male gametes, that is a male gamete, that is the sperms, and they develop the secondary sexual characters by the hormones, that is the testosterone. This is the structure of testosterone, the structures which has the number of seminiferous tubules, and in connection between the seminiferous tubule there is a presence of interstitial cells or Leydig cells, and it also has spermatids, Sertoli cells, which appears into this diagram. Then this is a diagrams of also testis. It has covered by the germinal epithelium, seminiferous tubules is covered by the epithelium, and in between the seminiferous tubule there is the presence of Leydig cells, Sertoli cells, which is found just below the germinal epithelium, then spermatogonium, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, and spermatids. Then, second, seminiferous tubules, which contain the number of seminiferous tubules, which look like in the diagrams. Look at the diagram, that is the seminiferous tubules. Then the second part, here the testes are lodged into the bag-like structures, loose pouch like sac-like skin that hang behind the penis, that is known as a scrotum. Then this scrotum, which is a loose bag like structures, externally loose bag like structures called scrotum. It lies in between the thigh below the pubic symphysis. The wall of the scrotum is made up of three layers. Outer wall of the scrotum is known as a outer wrinkled skin. Then second, connective tissues, and third is smooth muscle fibers. Externally, the scrotum appears single, but internally it is divided into two compartments containing one testis, one epididymis, and part of vas deferens. Scrotum sac is divided into right and left half through the portions. That portion is called it as a septum scroti. Then it contains the testicles, also called it as a testis, as well as many nerves and blood vessels. Scrotum has a protective function and act as a climate control system for the testis. The testis will descend outside the body cavity as the sperms cannot grow properly at higher temperature and are very sensitive to high temperature and that destroy. The body temperature is, that means the temperature of the testis should be less than 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade than the body temperature. For normal sperm development, the testis must be at the temperature slightly cooler than the body temperature. It means there are the special muscles in the wall of the scrotum allow it to control, tighten and relax, that means contract and relax, moving the testicles closer to the body for the warmth and protection or for further away from the body to cool the temperature. In short, the function of the scrotum is to protect the testis. It has two types of muscles. First one is a dartos muscle and second one is a cremaster muscles. Dartos muscles of the scrotum sacs and spermatic cords help to maintain the thermoregulation. Cremator muscles contracts and pull the scrotum to the body during the low temperature. In winter season, dartos muscles is responsible for wrinkling the scrotum and bring the scrotum toward the body, giving warmth. In the summer condition, the scrotum is relaxed and become flaccid and losing heat. This is all about the scrotum. Then the secondary organ, that is a rete testis. Secondary sex organ which includes rete testis, vas deferentia, epididymis, vas deferentia and urethra. Rete testis, it is a secondary sex organ. These seminiferous tubules are closed at one end, but on the other end they join to a network of tubules called rete testis. Rete testis which opens into the vas efferentia. Then vas efferentia are 15 to 20 fine convoluted tubules which arising from the rete testis and joins to the epididymis by piercing through the tunica albuginea. Rete testis and vas efferentia, this is the secondary sex organs. Then epididymis is also a secondary sex organ. These are a pair of C-shaped organs. This is a long coiled tubes and rest on the back side or posterolateral side of each testicle. It has three parts, that is the caput, epididymis, body and cauda epididymis. It is about 4 to 6 meter long and having a diameter of about 0.4 mm. The epididymis, it is a thick elongated structure that lies within the scrotum sac. The anterior part, that is the caput epididymis, it is highly convoluted and present over the head region of the testes. The middle region, it is called obviously, that is the body, while the posterior end is called it as a cauda epididymis that further forms a long duct called vas deferens and that runs upward toward the body. Epididymis is a thick elongated structure that lies within the scrotum sac. At the anterior end, it has a vas deferentia and the posterior ends, it has a vas deferentia. At the anterior end, it has a vas efferentia and the posterior end, it has a vas deferentia. It functions in carrying and storage the sponges that are produced in the testes. It also the job of the epididymis to bring the sponge to maturity. Since the sponge that emerges from the testes are immature and incapable of fertilization. During sexual arousal, contraction force the sponge into the vas deferens. Then vas deferens or ductus deferens. This is the duct that carries the sponge away from the scrotum to the outside, that is toward the urethra. It tubular structures arising from the cauda epididymis as a continuation of a distal lower end of the epididymis. It is about 30 to 35 centimeter long and it enters into the abdominal cavity through the inguinal canal. It continues more or less straight in the upward direction with slight coiling in the beginning. The vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity to just behind the bladder. It passes upward and closes in the spermatic cord along with the blood vessels and nerve supply. Spermatic cords helps to sustain the testes within the scrotum. Vas deferens is a long muscular that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity to just behind the bladder. It transports the mature sponge to the urethra in preparation for ejaculation. They carry the sponge from the epididymis to the urethra. The ejaculatory duct. It is a short duct. It is of about 2 centimeters long. On the either side of the urinary bladder. In this ejaculatory ducts opens the vas deferens and seminal vesicles. They are formed by the fusion of the vas deferens and seminal vesicles. The ejaculatory ducts opens into the prostatic urethra within the prostate glands. They carry seminal fluid and spermatozoa to the urethra. Then urethra. In male, urethra is a common passage for the flow of urine and semen. Hence, it is called it as a urinogenital passage. The urethra is the tube that carry urine from the bladder to outside the body. In the male, it has the additional function of expelling or ejaculating semen when the man reaches orgasm. When the penis is erect during the sex, the flow of urine is blocked from the urethra, allowing only the semen to be ejaculated at orgasm. It is about 20 centimeter long, made up of three regions, that is prostatic urethra, membranous urethra, and spongial urethra. The part within the prostate glands, that is called a prostatic urethra. Middle region is called a membranous urethra. It is a short, narrow duct between the prostate glands and root of the penis. The third region, that is the spongial or spongiose urethra, that lies within the penis and opens outside the tip. At the tip, it passes through the corpus spongiosum of the penis. Hence, it is called it as a spongiole urethra. Urethra has two sphincters, an internal sphincters which made up of smooth muscles and external sphincters which is made up of striatic muscles. Then three accessory reproductive glands. First one is seminal vesicle, second one is prostate gland, and third one is corpus glands. Seminal vesicles, these are the pair of small fibrous muscular sac-like glands which is about 5 centimeter long. The sac-like pouches that attaches to the vas deferens. These are the pair of small fibrous muscular sac divided externally into lobes by shallow constriction. Look at the diagram. The seminal vesicles are sac-like pouches that attaches to the vas deferens in between the base of the bladder and rectum. The secretory or columnar epithelial cells are lined each seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles which secretes alkaline nutritive fluids, that is called semen, and semen which contain the sugar-rich fluid, that is the fructose, and the fructose which provides the energy and help in the sperm's motility. That's why the sperm shows its ability to move from the vagina to the fallopian tubes, which contains the semen, which contains at least about 60% of the total volumes, which is made up by means of the seminal fluids, which is secreted by the seminal vesicles. It also contains a large number of prostaglandins or fibrinogen. These fluids of the seminal vesicles make up of most of the volumes of the man's ejaculatory fluids or ejaculate. It contains prostaglandins and fibrinogen. Prostaglandins are believed to help in fertilization in the two ways. First, that is by reacting with cervical mucosa to make it more receptive to the sperms and cause the reverse peristaltic contraction in the uterus and fallopian tubes to move the sperms toward the ovaries. These cells secrete three muscular fluids that help to keep the sperms alive and healthy. Then second one is prostate gland. Prostate gland is a single grayish to reddish glands, which is a walnut sized glands, which is about 4 centimeter width and 3 centimeter in diameter. It is found or located below the urinary bladder in front of the rectum. It is partly glandular and partly muscular. Glandular part has a columnar epithelial cells that secrete a milky and alkaline fluids which containing citric acid, calcium, acid phosphate and clotting enzymes. The alkaline characteristics of the prostate fluids neutralizes the acidic effect of the fluid coming from the vas efferents and of the vaginal secretion to maintain the motility and fertility of the sperms. It helps in nourishment of the sperms. Prostatic fluids use semen milky appearance, fluid from the seminal vesicles and corpus glands use its mucus consistency. The prostatic fluids forms about 30% of the total volume of the semen. It neutralizes the acidity of the vaginal secretion. Semen is composed of the fluid from the vas deferens, from the seminal vesicle, prostate glands and corpus glands. The pH of the semen is about 6.5 to 7.5. That means slightly alkaline. Prostate glands opens into the urethra by 30 to 40 glandular tubuloalveoli fine duct or lobes that discharge the secretion of the prostate glands into the urethra. Then third one is the corpus glands, that is also known as a bulbourethral glands. It is a pair of small yellow pea-sized structures. It is about 1 centimeter in diameter and located on the side of the urethra just below the prostatic glands. They opens into the urethra by the short duct from below. These glands secretes a clear slippery mucus like alkaline fluids that empties directly into the urethra. These fluids which serves to lubricate the passage of urethra, female genital tract, for the discharge of semen at the time of copulation. The secretion also neutralizes the acidic effect of the uric acids found in the urethra that may be present due to residual drop of the urine in the urethra, which is harmful to the sperms. The secretion is produced just before the ejaculation of the semen carrying sperms takes place. Then last, that is the organ, that is the external genitalia, that is the penis. The penis is the male external genitalia. It is the organ. It has the column of erectile tissues, two posterior lateral tissues called corpora corposa, cavernosa, and an anterior tissue is called corpus spongiosum. It is situated in the pubic region in front of the scrotum. Generally, it is a small and limp, but on aroused sexually, it becomes long, hard, and erect. It is a pendulous which is hang over the scrotum. The penis has a column of erectile tissues, two posterolateral tissues called corpora cavernosa, and anterior tissues is called it as a corpus spongiosum. Erectile tissues consist of blood sinuses in which the blood flows and making the penis erect and helping in copulation. The tip of the penis is called glans penis, which is enlarged due to the corpus spongiosums. The penis has three parts. First part is root, second part is body or shaft, and third part is glans penis. First part, this attaches root which attaches to the wall of the abdomen. The semen which contains the sperms is expelled or ejaculated through the end of the penis vein. The man reaches the sexual climax, that is called an orgasm. When the penis is erect, the flow of urine is blocked from the urethra, allowing only the semen to be ejaculated at the orgasm. And second part, that is the body or shaft. This is the cone-shaped end of the penis. The body of the penis is cylindrical in shape It consists of three internal chambers. These chambers are made up of special sponge-like erectile tissues. These tissues, which contains the thousands of large spaces that fills with blood when the man is sexually aroused. As the space fills with blood, it becomes rigid and erect, which allows from the penetration during the sexual intercourse. The skin of the penis is loose and elastic to allow for changes in the penis size during the erection. And third parts, that is the glans penis. It is also called it as the head of the penis. It is covered with a loose layer of the skin called foreskin. This skin is sometimes removed in the procedure called it as a circumcision. In Hindi language, that is called khatna. Mostly Muslim communities adopted this procedure. The opening of the urethra, the tube that transports semen and urine, at the tip of the glans penis, which contains the number of sensitive nerves ending. Then these organs of male reproductive systems, which is specialized for the function. The male reproductive system which become functional with the onset of the puberty. Then male climacteric, that means when the testosterone which decreases, that means in the old ages, automatically that decreases the male sex function. That condition is known as a male climacteric. The main function of the reproductive system, male reproductive system, is that which produces the sperms in the process of spermatogenesis and transfer the sperms to the reproductive tract of the female. Then the entire male reproductive systems is dependent on the hormones, which are chemicals that stimulate and regulate the activities of the cell and organs. Primary hormones which involved in the functioning of the male reproductive systems, that are FSH and LH. Follicle stimulating hormones, that is FSH, and luteinizing hormones, that is ELH, and most important male reproductive hormone, that is the testosterone. FSH and LH are produced by the pituitary glands, which is located at the base of the brain. FSH is necessary for the sperm production, that is the spermatogenesis, and LH which stimulates the production of testosterone, which is necessary for to continue the process of spermatogenesis. And the third hormone, testosterone, is also important in the development of male characteristics, including the muscle mass, strength, fat distribution, bone mass, and sexual drive. This is the review how the sperms which transfer, that means the sperms which form into the testes during the spermatogenesis, then which is transmitted from testes to the epididymis, then epididymis to the vas deferens, then vas deferens to seminal vesicle, then seminal vesicles to urethra. This is the pathway of the sperms. This is the route of the sperms which transfer from testes to epididymis, epididymis to vas deferens, vas deferens to seminal vesicle to urethra, then urethra through the tip of the penis, then which is when it is ejaculated into the female genital tract, it passes into the female reproductive genital tract, and it is fertilized into the fallopian tubes. Thank you very much. Subscribe my channel, like my channel, share my channel. Thank you very much.